So this is my process for sorting out the pellets. So one of the most consistent pellets I found is the QIS air gunners pellet. These are nominal 8.48, I think. I haven't got the right glasses on, but I think they are. Most pellets can't be controlled because of the lead alloy too tightly anyway. So what I do is, the first thing is I process the sizing of the skirt using this sizing die. You basically drop a pellet into the aperture there, push down through, and that will size the skirt of the pellet, not the head. These QIS have a nominal head size of 4.50, reading on there. That's the batch number. And when you actually gauge these pellets, they are actually very, very good. If you do this with any JSB pellet, such as an Air Arms or a Daystate Sovereign, or JSB themselves, the exact pellets, you'll find that they're absolutely all over the place. They're nowhere near the nominal size. They're nowhere near the nominal weight, either the 8.44 that I'll say on the tin. What I do is I size the skirts first, and you'll see, I think you might be able to see a shiny ring. Yes, you can just about. So, that size the ring. And then what I do is I sort them into weights. So on this tray from that one tin, I've sorted out everything that is nominal 870. And that will be anything between 868 to 8.73. That's for me. So let me just show you. So what I do, I just have a tray like this with just all the pellets in. I'll drop one in like that. That's a nominal 8.74, 8.73. It's finished scaling. 8.7. It's actually going up. It's because it's been off. So the scale's very cheap, but when you drop it on, its initial reading 873, 874. It can go into that tray. Anything massively different goes in the scrap bin. But I've got one that's a nominal 865 and an 858 with the tolerance in between, and I just sort through. Luckily with QIS, they're pretty good. So, but just to show you, these are the ones that are too far out. Here's one that I looked at. Bearing in mind it's supposed to be 8.48, 8.96. So why is that important? Well, if someone was to say to you, does a pellet weight make a difference to your point of impact on the target, you would almost certainly agree that it does. And when you're trying to make it very tight tolerance for bench rest, small variations can have sorry to use the word impact again, but it will impact your point of aim. So if you can narrow that down and remove that variable, it's going to help. I'm not going to say that it's absolutely necessary, and there'll be a lot of barrels out there that it doesn't really matter too much in, but certainly if you're going up, like in that case, up to nearly nearly 9, that's a significant difference of going up from 8.44 nominal up to 9 grains. Then that's likely to make a difference. So once I've sorted and weighed, the next thing is to see what the head size actually is. So I have this pellet gauge here. I say QIS are pretty good. So what you do is you take a pellet, slide it in the top, and then just let it slide down. And that's pretty close to 450. So I'm happy with that. So that can bugger to get out sometimes, but push them out. And I just go through that process, just making sure that they're somewhere in between 4.50 and 4.51. Anything too big will get rejected. That's okay. 451 is fine. What you don't want is something that's 448 and something that's 445 455. And again, if you do that with JSB pellets, so that one's 450, that's fine. They're just anywhere. I'm not going to go and get a tin out and show you, but well, why don't I? Let's go to the drawer and just grab a tin. And there's a tin. And I must make sure I don't get these mixed up. But there's the tin of these. Let's see what we get in these. So these should be, let me turn the tin over and have a look to tell you what size they claim they are. They should be 452. QIS are 450, or should be. So let's just have a look. Just do a few, if I can get the lid back off again. So that one's just under 451. Pellet in, tip it up. That one's just under 450. You get the drift. They're nothing like 452, nowhere near. I'm hoping I get one that drops from it. No, well, there you go. 452, that's actually 449. Hilarious. And what I'm going to do is just to show you the weight variance. I'll take those in a second. I'll just drop them on the scales. So another one, just pop it in. Just let it slide down. Oh, we've got a 452. Miracle. I don't know why they bothered to tell you that they've been batch selected, although having watched the video, that one's 450. So finding one quite quickly, that was actually very lucky. So these should all be 8.4 grains. They don't do 8.44. They're 8.4, so that's a wide tolerance for any pellet. Saying 8.4, so anything between 8.35 and 8.46 would be what you'd expect, I guess, for a very wide tolerance. Let's just grab these from over here. Let's just weigh them, see how much they are. So let's get my tweezers. Drop the first one on. 8.42. I think it's 8.67. You know, it's just 8.70. 8.2. Well, there you go, all over the place. So once I've sorted these, they've all been through my skirt sizing die. I'll shoot them in groups and I'll make sure my point of aim's right for the target I'm shooting, for the Benchrest targets. The last thing I do is, before they go into the gun, I'll use some pellet oil in a tray. I use this particular Napier power pellet, and I'll put it in a little tray. There's some from earlier shooting, just roll them around in there. I sometimes shoot with a mag and sometimes with a single shot tray. Shot tray is going to risk less damage to your pellets, but that's the process I use to select my pellets, and I get some pretty decent targets. So it took me a while to find a pellet for the Redwolf, but this was one I shot having sorted pellets. This was a target I shot, so you see the date. That's the 6th of February 2021, not the 2nd of June 2021. I haven't got a time machine, but that was 250 and 18x, and that was shot out of a magazine, a 10-shot magazine for the gun. What I've done to find out what the barrel likes is started with various pellets. So here you can see at the top, these are the air arms pellets that I've just weighed and showed you how bad they are. And out of the tin, they were pretty terrible. But by sizing the skirt, and it is the skirt I hasten to add, you start to get better performance. So this shot here, that was my fault. I actually wasn't zeroed on the target correctly. But I got a group, overall group size, edge to edge of 10.67. QIS out of the tin were pretty good, 11.51. It got a little bit worse actually, going to 4.54. But sizing the skirt, I got down to 10.80. And I went through all the various pellets, H&N, RWS. I couldn't size those any further, it was damaging the skirts, they're quite hard. And then I used some Ely 10X 10 metre pellets. You can see by the shape of the hole, it's a very round hole. I actually got quite a good group. I did pull one shot off there, but I actually got one sub-9, but the conditions were pretty ideal. And also with the Redwolf, you can adjust the power, so that was all on low power. So going further on, cutting to the chase, I did a bit more. Then I went on to mid power, and I sized and then oiled the pellets. So I took the best pellets, the QIS, got a group down to 939. With the air arms, the terrible pellets, having selected obviously weights and everything, I managed to get down to 921. HN Barracuda match, which is slightly heavier pellet, I got 921 as well. And then that was the first target. Another bit of a test target. And then I really drilled down and then found that I did mid power and high power. And what I found was on high power, I was getting pretty consistent without trying overly hard. With QIS, I was actually getting the best group. So that then led me on to go and shoot the target to see where it actually goes. And taking a bit of time, better say, shot out of the May. And that wasn't bad performance. So I think there's a perfect score in those pellets, in the right conditions, and if I do my part. So that's the process. Parts, the bits. So this is a guy who lives in the Midlands, in the West Midlands near Birmingham. Neil Garrard, I think, or Gerard. These are about 40 quid, and you can buy different size dies for the skirts. So there are the different ones in there. You just replace them. So 453 works for my Redwolf. This is about 8 quid off eBay. It's a jeweler's scale. Weighs down to 2 decimal points, as you've seen, in grains. Very important, don't get a scale that just goes to 1 decimal point. Otherwise you'll be guessing. And then this is a company on eBay, just you can go Google these. Pellet head size gauge by Alpha. And it's pretty good. You're just looking for something to give you a consistent head size, an indication of consistent head size, rather than it actually having to be what it says on the back of the tin. And as you see from the targets, that 452 actually means nothing. Sizing the skirts actually gives you a bit of control. Anyway, hope that helps, and enjoy your shooting.